Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bill Levinson, managing partner with Levinson and Associates. With me today, we have the Joseph Lochran, our marketing vice president, and then we have our special guest speaker, Charlene Theraldson. So, great stuff to go over today, as usual. As you know, we try to feature whatever hot carrier product, sales ideas, sales concepts, anything that's hot and new in the industry. We want to be the first ones to bring that information to our agents on a live webinar like we're on right now. So what we're talking about today, I'll just give you the 100-footer, and then we'll dive in a little bit here, and then Charlene's going to take the wheel in about 5 to 8 minutes. So it's so important because, you know, you hear about all these crazy commission levels and, hey, we have term with living benefits and, you know, you're going to make 200% commission. And then all of a sudden, when you dig in a little bit and you make the phone call and kick the tires, you find out the carrier is, you know, let's say B rated, or, you know, that commission level is only available if you're writing $1 million of premium and it's paid over a 3-year span, you know, whatever. There's so much gray, right? We all know how that works. And, you know, there's been carriers out there marketing living benefits for a while now, but when you look under the covers, you're not getting the whole story. And then when you find out the whole story, typically you're already contracted and you're handcuffed for at least 6 months. You can't get a release, and God forbid you spent, you know, $100 or $500 on getting up and running. You know, you're really at a loss. So what we like to do here, as you know, is we want to tell you the whole story. We want to bring the best products and carriers to our agents, and we will do the due diligence for you, okay? And with us, obviously, no small print, no gray area. Whatever it is, it is. And if there's an issue or red flag, we're going to bring that information to our agents. So what's neat about today's call is not only is this a very highly rated carrier, okay, A+ rated, which is awesome. Commissions are great. This qualifies for the Levinson incentive that you'll see in a few minutes. But they're also a privately held carrier, okay, and that's a big deal. We know the difference. You know, this is a privately held carrier owned by Salmons Financial. Like I said, AM Best A+ rated, but we know the difference between a privately held company and a public company, and we know what the different strategies and angles are. And I can tell you, if you come across a privately held A+ rated company, you're in great shape, especially if they have awesome products. And what we're talking about today is they have just added living benefit riders on to their competitive term products, okay, and they have the best IUL on the face of the planet, which as soon as you know the carrier name, you'll agree with me. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. They have an awesome e-application platform with streamlined underwriting that's just launching as well. So great stuff to talk about. Also, don't forget this, the cash for contracting incentive also applies here. So what that means, if you're already contracted, okay, even if you're a Levinson agent, but you're contracted through another upline, with cash for contracting, we match or beat, most of the time we'll beat your existing grid, okay, worst case we'll match it, plus you're going to get anywhere between $100 and $400 cash with your first application, and you get to take advantage of all the technology and tools and website and lead generators and CRM tool, agency automator, the list goes on and on. It's all free. So there's so many pluses there. So after the call, if you want to get up and running, we'll include licensing and transfer forms in the thank you email. And then, of course, call us, email. We want your feedback, good, bad, indifferent. You can even chat in that little box there on the right side. We want to hear everything because we base these weekly trainings around you. And if we need to change something or add something or take something away, we want to make sure that it's done and we cater to you, the Levinson agent. So please, okay, share your comments, okay? If you want to get up and running, we'll include licensing transfer form and, of course, commission grid in the email, so we'll make sure that's taken care of. Okay, moving forward here, the great year-end incentive that I was referring to is the Levinson Agent Incentive. We call this the Top Closer Contest. And the reason why we came out with this is because it's not fair if you're new with us and you haven't written anything, right? How can you compete with the agent that's been with us for 20 years and, you know, he or she is MDRT, top of the table? Obviously, they have a running head start. So we wanted to make this contest a little unique, where if you have never written an application, you're going to start at the same place as that MDRT agent. So the way it works, very simply done, is everyone started fresh on October 15th, okay, 10 days ago. So basically, whoever gets the most premium in before December 31st, so just a few months, right? And we're going to take the cumulative premium, okay, for life, annuity, supplemental products, all combined into one pot. First place closer, okay, and everyone starts at zero. First place closer, we are paying for you and your spouse to come down to South Florida for our Expo to spend the weekend with us, on us. We pay for airfare, round trip, meals. We give you a spa gift card. Everything is taken care of. If you're a local agent in South Florida, we give you the cash equivalent. Second place, $500 cash. Third place is the new Apple iWatch that just came out. Very, very cool. So we'll announce the winners at the Expo. But make sure, you know, and like I said, if you're new with us or you haven't written anything yet, everybody starts from zero, at scratch. So make sure you start to get your applications in now, and the products we're talking about today all qualify as well. Okay, moving forward, one more slide, and then we're going to introduce Charlene. It's important for everyone also to know that, so once a year, there is a huge meeting in our industry called NAILBA, okay, and that's spelled N-A-I-L-B-A. So we all meet typically the end of October, okay, so that meeting is coming up, and iPipeline is the biggest tech vendor in our industry today. So for the NAILBA meeting, okay, they actually put together a live podcast, and I'm the featured speaker. So the point is, okay, the podcast is going to be launched next week, and we just actually got wind of this. We're going to email everybody the link to the podcast so you can get a little taste of Levinson and Associates, the direction that we're headed, and of course what the industry looks like today from our standpoint. Okay, we talk all about tools, products, technology, everything around the insurance brokerage industry. So that's going to be really cool. It's 30 minutes long and live interview. It's well worth your time. We'll include that in the thank you email today, but we're even blessed just to be featured on their podcast. So good times for all of us. Okay, so living benefits, as you know, the new way to sell life insurance. Okay, obviously now the insured doesn't have to die for the policy to place or take advantage of, right? We know how it works. Beneficiary gets the death benefit. Now the insured can benefit, okay, while the person is still alive with living benefits. So it's a game changer, especially if you have a book of business. What a great chance to go back to, let's say, all of your term policy holders and say, hey, you should be looking at the new kind of life insurance that pays while you're still alive, term with living benefits. And the North American product is a game changer, okay? Now, to go to all of the Levinson resources, go to our Kerry Levinson website, and if you hover over products, it'll say living benefits, and then a little box will open at the bottom with all options in front of you, brochures. We have rate guides, underwriting, everything at your fingertips, even marketing pieces. You can start e-blasting, or you can use our agency Automator platform for free to start e-blasting to your clients, prospects, friends, and family members. So great stuff there. Okay, without further ado, we're going to jump into our feature presentation. So like I said, North American, awesome, awesome company, one of our core carriers at that. Big IUL leader now with their term living benefit riders. This is a game changer, folks. So sit back, relax. We have Charlene Theraldson. Charlene, you're there?
I am. Thank you, Bill. Thanks, everybody, for taking some time out of your day. I'm happy to be here to talk about North American's new living benefits on our Advantage term. We were really excited to bring this to the table here just recently, and what's also kind of really cool about the timing of today's session is that just yesterday, because I know you're located in Florida and maybe not all the agents are, but just yesterday we announced that we got the approval in the state of Florida for the chronic to be included, not the critical. Florida, Florida has a little thing with the critical illness there, but anyway, many of the other states, I've got a couple exceptions that I'll let you know about, and you can see right here on the front page, California is not one of those states either. So I've got a short presentation to go through today, and then I've got some tools to share with you at the end. So let's go ahead and get started. So just real quick, the agenda for what I'm going to cover today is why term insurance. We'll stress the living benefits part of it, the need for coverage, and then we'll get into specifically about North American's Advantage term, which is the name of our term product. So why buy term life insurance? Well, we know that it's very cost efficient for people. Then you can relate it to their morning coffee, that it can be lower price than their cup of coffee they have on their way to work. So it's the most cost-effective way to get somebody covered, and for a certain period of time. And the need that they have to cover it can be as simple as income replacement. You figure out how many years they have left to work, what their current income is. We've got a nice grid on that. It gives you a nice multiplier. Oh, you need $1 million of coverage. And term is the most cost-effective way to do that. So income replacement, you can also match it up to the length of a mortgage, a 15-year mortgage, a 30-year mortgage, maybe to cover the time span on their student loans. Just very transactional way of getting some life insurance in place, not necessarily for the cash value element, but for the low cost, fitted into their budget very easily. Now, the great thing about writing term insurance, if you write it with a company like North American, where it's got a conversion opportunity, you can think of selling term, the cost-effective solution to your client today, as inventory that you can convert later that will earn you another commission. And guess what? Your client doesn't have to go through underwriting. Conversion lets them skip the underwriting line and take their same underwriting rate class that they got 5 or 10 years ago, whatever it was when they first got their term policy, and they take that with them. So it doesn't matter what's popped up in their medical history between then and now, as long as they're in the conversion eligible period, they can go to one of our, say, cash value products, which are very strong IUL products. So think about, you might sell term to them now because of it being cost efficient, but think of it as, it's the first step for a future sale, as long as you're writing with a company that's got the conversion options like we do. So many people may have term insurance, and you might have written it on some of them in the past. It's now a good time to revisit that and classify it as, you have the old term, I want to tell you about the new term, like Bill alluded to. Let's talk about a life insurance that the insured can have some living benefits, where it can benefit them while they're living if they have a chronic, critical, or terminal illness. They don't have to wait until death occurs to get access to some of that death benefit. And so that's what the living benefits is, and that can be your opening question. Maybe they're a client that you didn't sell the policy to, and you're doing a review, you're talking to them about something else. You might say, do you have other insurance in place? Okay, great. Is it the old kind of insurance or the new kind of insurance? They'll be like, what? This is what we're talking about. The new kind of insurance includes those living benefits. So that's the opener that you can have to get the conversation started. So living benefits was so important to add to term because there's a very small percentage of term coverage that actually ends up getting paid in the form of a death benefit, because usually it's for for the younger individuals when they're healthier, and it usually only covers anywhere from 10 to 30 years maybe. But the likelihood that they could have a critical illness is much more likely during that time span. So who will it be? Statistically, 1 out of every 4 people will be critically injured before the age of 65. So out of these 8 people, we're talking about 2 of them. We don't know who it'll be. And so it's a matter of making sure that you at least offer your client a term policy that includes living benefits, so that when they have one of those events, like a heart attack, cancer, stroke pop up, you have a policy that can help them in their time of need. And that's what critical illness does cover. Here's the big 3, the cancer, heart attack, and stroke. Just a few facts for you here. Every year, 1.4 million people are diagnosed with cancer. And every 34 seconds, someone has a heart attack, with almost 800,000 people suffering a new coronary heart attack. Another staggering statistic says every 40 seconds, someone has a stroke, with 600,000 people suffering their first stroke. So it happens. And the likelihood that one of these critical illnesses could happen during the time of the term coverage being in place is much more likely. That's the 1 out of 4. Now, of course, critical illness also covers kidney failure or organ transplant. Just some implications here, that when somebody actually has a critical illness, how much of a impact that can have on their situation. So here again, some more staggering numbers. 48% of mortgage foreclosures come as a result of a financial hardship that was due to a critical illness. Not very many of them are due to death, but more of them are about the critical illness and the impact that has on their financial situation at that time. And how about bankruptcies? 60% of bankruptcies are tied to a critical illness like the cancer, heart attack, and stroke. And for every 1,000 people who are 50 years old, roughly 12 to 15 might experience a critical illness of cancer, heart attack, stroke, kidney failure, or organ transplant. But the majority of the claims are tied to the big 3, the cancer, heart attack, and stroke. Heart disease and stroke cause the highest out-of-pocket expenses. I mean, look at this, over 22 to 23,000 out-of-pocket expenses. And if they have a term policy that doesn't have cash value, then if they have the old, then the only time they're going to get the benefit out of the term is when death occurs. But look at these out-of-pocket expenses that they're incurring at this time of diagnosis of the heart disease and stroke. They could use some dollars, but they don't have a savings or a cash value life insurance policy. So by having critical illness on there, this is a triggering event that allows them to get access to some of the death benefits while they're living because of the critical illness. That's where it can really help them. So let's look at some more numbers here. I had said before that there's a very small percentage of term policies that actually pay a death benefit, like 2%. It's around 2%. But the chances of us being able to pay something out for a critical illness could be substantially higher than that. You can see here, the green boxes in the front are non-smoker numbers and ages, and then the purple ones are for the smoker. So you can see that the chances of cancer, heart attack, and stroke before age 65, much more, double digits compared to a 2% death benefit payout. And how about chronic illness? Now, the living benefits, there's critical illness that we just covered, but there's also chronic illness. Now, chronic illness is, when they're not able to perform at least 2 of the 6 activities of daily living, and they need some care. So the costs involved for chronic illness are pretty expensive too. The cost of a semi-private nursing home room, nearly $7,000. A private nursing home, now we're closer to $8,000. Assisted living, you can see about $3,600. Those are monthly premiums, by the way. Home health, maybe they're able to stay in their home and hire somebody to come in and help take care of them. That's got a decent going rate too of at least $20 an hour. How about adult daycare? nearly $70 a day. So you can see that those costs can really add up. And if they have just a term policy with no cash value, no savings account, this low-cost term coverage can really help them out. So let's move over to dig into some of the details. The product is our term, which goes by the name of the Advantage term. It's available in several different durations. I'll cover those in just a minute. But we're going to go through the details. We're going to cover the living benefits. We're going to talk about how it's actually paid out. We're going to talk about our pricing on it, and then the convertibility option, because that's definitely something that that can be a great opportunity for you in the future. So term durations, 10, 15, 20, or 30 year. Can choose any one of those. That's going to have a level premium for that duration for the issue ages. Let me add the issue ages here to the screen. As young as age 18 can apply for term, and then you can see the maximum ages up to 55, up to 75. Tobacco users only 50. So you can see that we've got quite a range. Now, there's different price bands that you need to be aware of too, because maybe you're only applying for $475,000 of coverage. Well, if you're aware that we have a price band at $500,000, it's kind of a quantity discount is what you can think of banding. The more insurance you buy, the lower price per thousand we're going to charge. So it might actually be cheaper to get $500,000 than it would be at the price we charge versus $475,000. So be aware of those price breaks there, and maybe just up it or double check it and see if it's worth getting the extra coverage. Let's see what else we have here. So let's talk about the living benefits. Living benefits are the way to access the death benefit while they're still living if they have one of these events occur. Critical was a cancer, heart attack, and stroke. Chronic was the activities of daily living, and then terminal illness is when their doctor certifies them with a shorter life expectancy from that point forward. So let's cover those in more detail. Terminal illness has pretty standardly been covered or included in our term and other products. That's nothing new, but there's no additional premium to have this. It's included. One thing that's different about our terminal illness compared to some of the other offerings on other policies from other carriers is that we have a longer span of life expectancy that we're able to allow the client to accelerate during. So ours is a 24-month life expectancy. Some other carriers and products, you need to read the fine print because they might not be able to accelerate until they're down to 6 months or 12 months. Well, imagine that their health is really deteriorating at that point, and maybe at the 24-month life expectancy, having access to some of those funds might help them get on a trial drug that isn't covered by their insurance. Maybe it's to take a family trip while they're still kind of feeling more able to. At the 6-month mark, maybe they're too far advanced to try the trial drug. Maybe they're too just exhausted and kind of beat up by their illness that a family trip, I mean, they have just a hard enough time, to and from bed or something. So a 6-month versus 24 months, if you think about those kind of factors, can make a big difference. So all of these benefits we added without increasing our premium on our term product. And so having them included, there's no premium, extra premium for it, but all of them are going to have some sort of discounting that happens at the time of election. So what's good about this is this means they haven't spent a lot of premium dollars on something that they might not ever need. They might not ever use it. They might die in a car accident and never have a chronic, critical, or terminal illness. So then they haven't spent all those premium dollars on there. So the way of doing this then is that we discount it at the time that we pay it out. The amount that they accelerate, they won't get it dollar for dollar because we'll keep some of it to cover the cost of paying it out early. That's what the discounting part of it means. So real quick, terminal illness premiums are waived when the benefit's been elected, and they can accelerate up to 90% of the face amount, and up to the first $2 million of coverage. They can also take a minimum amount of 10% or $100,000. So let's move into critical illness. Again, no additional premium. You don't have to ask for this upon application, as long as they meet the age and rate class at issue, these will be included. So no additional premium. They're not paying for it if they never, ever use it. Premiums are reduced based on the lower face amount. What does that mean? Well, if they accelerate, say, $100,000 to help them because they're chronically ill, and the death benefit reduced from $1 million down to $900,000, it means we're going to reduce the premiums and only charge them on the $900,000. You got to be careful of that on some of the other products, and again, the fine print. Make sure that premiums are going to be reduced and only be charged on the lower face amount. The triggering events are kind of all listed here. The activities of daily living or the severe cognitive impairment. Let me clear through this slide here. I think that's all you can kind of understand. The doctor, again, would have to certify this just like they would the terminal illness on the previous slide. So we do need doctor certification. One thing that I will say is that previously, when we've had chronic illness, we've always said that it had to be considered permanent. We have removed the word permanent from this chronic illness on this product. Also on some of our later versions of our products, they also have the word permanent removed. But there are still a few of our products that have not had that word removed yet. It's not so simple when it comes to products to just remove a word. You have to refile the whole product with the state. So chronic illness, the maximum they can accelerate is 24% of the death benefit up to a maximum of $480. So that's assuming they have a $2 million death benefit or higher, then the maximum would be $480. That's per election. So you can accelerate that basically about 4 times, and you'd kind of be at the max. You also don't have to accelerate the maximum the whole time. Maybe they only need a certain dollar amount for that particular year. So if you're only taking 10%, you could perhaps spread out the chronic illness benefits longer. 2 million is the maximum acceleration. Previously on our products, it's been $1 million. So that's an increase. You can see the minimum here is 5%. And then this is automatically included if they're approved at issue of a table 4 or better, and they have no medical flat extras. And then again, the discounting happens at the time of election. And what's different about this chronic illness than on our permanent is that the discount is based on underwriting. So this is an underwritten claim-based acceleration. So we'll need medical records to review the severity of the chronic illness that they are encountering. So just a little hypothetical here. We have a wide range. We just kind of narrowed it into 3 different kind of criteria here to kind of give you an idea, but it is wide range. It's not just 3. You can see here we've got minor impact, moderate impact, and severe, but it could also fall somewhere between minor and moderate, and somewhere between moderate and severe. This is just to give you an idea that when somebody accelerates it for a chronic and critical illness, if it had very little impact on their future mortality, they might not actually qualify for getting any benefits. But it could be a whole lot more based on the severity. So you can see the spectrum here. So it's claims-based underwriting for the potential payout on the benefit. Let's move into the critical illness. Again, no additional premium to offer this. You don't have to elect it at the application. Premiums will be reduced based on the lowered face amount after the acceleration has taken place. And again, those critical illnesses are cancer, heart attack, stroke, transplant, and kidney failure. Now, somebody can have more than 1 stroke, and somebody could be diagnosed with more than 1 type of cancer. So there can be, there's not limited to just 1 triggering event for each category. Matter of fact, somebody could have, more than 1 stroke, more than 1 heart attack, and more than 1 cancer. Each one is a separate individual event that can allow the acceleration. Here's how the critical illness works. They can accelerate up to 90% of the first $1 million, up to $1 million just for critical acceleration. Now, on the previous slide, we said $2 million for chronic, so if there's a total combination, so if at some point it turns into chronic, then the maximum for it, the total acceleration would be capped at $2 million between the two. You can see the minimum amount here, 10%. Again, discounted, they pay for it in the form of a discounting that takes place at the time of underwriting, at the time of electing the benefit. For any of these, when they choose to consider electing the benefit, they're going to request paperwork from North American, fill out the paperwork, and then they're going to get an approximation of what it will be. And then at that point, they choose whether they want to actually finish proceeding with taking the acceleration or not. This is automatically included if they are approved at Table 2 or better with no medical flat extras, and that was at the time of issuing the product. So now I want to show you kind of where we stack up competitively to some of the other carriers out there. You've got the help of Levinson and Associates to help you based on their website and their insight and knowledge with what they know about the other carriers to know which carriers offer the living benefits and which don't. Which ones you have to pay extra premium for, because some carriers do offer them but at an extra premium. And so what we have kind of lined up here is that our premium, when we quoted this 2 months ago before we had this available, it was $408 for this 20-year term on a 45-year-old male. And now that we've added the benefits, it's still $408. And so you can see where we stack up here against the competitors. Sometimes you have to move over to the far right column to see what the price would be if you had the benefits included. So they're in order by the far right column when you have the chronic and critical illness included. Now remember, we talked early on that not only are we offering these benefits at no additional cost, the North American term is convertible to any of our permanent products, which would be, we have the custom guarantee, which is just a kind of a term for life, but it's a UL, doesn't have any cash. Otherwise, any of these other three IUL products, the Guarantee Builder, the Builder Plus, and then the Rapid Builder. Those are all the cash value type products. So if you can secure your client by locking in their insurability with a term policy, then later, even as early as the first year, or through their level term period, or through the certain ages, which are usually 69 to 74, they're able to convert. So just because you sell a term doesn't mean you're done with them. You still need to revisit with them, because at some point, hopefully they'll be interested in a cash value product. And so that's where I'll kind of leave you with that as far as the competitiveness of our IUL products. I mean, we've got our Builder Plus came out earlier this year, and the cash value growth is just dynamic. I myself have a builder. I just wrote a builder on my 18-year-old son this last year as he entered college, putting the extra money in there to have it grow tax deferred as a way to be pulled out tax-free at retirement or for college or whatever. There's no restrictions like other retirement plans. So IUL is a way to go with that. I just want to show you real quick. I know Bill mentioned the financial stability of the company, our A+ ratings with AM Best, Standard & Poor's, and then also Fitch. We're privately owned. Most other insurance companies are either stock companies or mutual companies, and I believe we're the only one that's privately owned. So I myself am one of the owners of the company. All right, so with that, I do want to just bring up another screen here, and I have shared the link already with Joe. I know he's going to include it in the follow-up email. North American has a marketing microsite. You don't have to be contracted with us. You don't have to have an agent code. You don't have to remember a username and password to get out here to this website. The page that I'm happen to be on right now is for the Advantage term with the living benefits, but I'm just going to show you a couple other spots in here as I just finish up. So anything that you want to know about the term, all of the marketing tools are over here on the right-hand side. So a agent promo flyer for you, here's how we stack up competitively. How does the rider work? And again, the agent guide, there's consumer guides here. All of this is just right at your fingertips. You can just click on it to view it. You can print it. If you want to order hard copies, of course, you can do that too. All right, so that's just real quick here. Something to really help you with the end of the year incentive that Levinson's offering, it would be to write a term policy by using our electronic application, which and then bypassing some of the underwriting, going through our non-fluid underwriting. You could have these cases issued and approved in short of like 5 days from the time the application comes in. So if you really pounded the pavement and took a bunch of term apps, the amount of business that you could get paid by the end of the year while that contest is running, it can cut a lot of time off. So let me show you how that works. You're going to use our electronic application is called our Simple Submit e-app. It's powered by iPipeline. So under the Technology tab, if you click on Simple Submit, the information will be over here. Basically right here, I'm showing you there's a little demo if you want to walk through that. It's powered by iPipeline. You probably are familiar with it from other carriers or using that through the Levinson page. But there's an agent guide up here. And in order to be eligible for the non-fluid underwriting, it does have to be an electronic application. So if you take a paper app, you're not going to have the opportunity to skip the line for paramed and labs. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that real quick, what's here as far as how to get to that. But now I want to move over to our accelerated underwriting right away. So let's go back up here to the Technology tab, right away. And I just want to real quickly show you, I like this piece right here, how it works website. I'm going to click on that real quick. And what I'm going to show you is this is how quick it works. You're going to have your discussion with your client right here. You're going to take an electronic e-application. There's a few pre-qualifying questions to determine if your client will be eligible for the right-of-way process. So watch all of the questions, especially towards the end before you lock the application. Then the next steps is that it'll go in the right-of-way process. There'll be a phone interview conducted. Your client will receive a call. The biggest thing I can tell you there is prepare your client to take the call. You need to warn them because so many people don't want to take any of these calls because we're getting so many telemarketing and scam calls. So you need to let them be aware. This ESP is going to call them 2 times a day for like 7 days and up to 21 days to try to get this interview completed. So let them know there's a brochure on it to let them know that ESP will be calling to conduct this interview. In here, there's also a list of things that your client needs to have handy. I'll go back and show you that, like prescriptions, doctors, names, addresses, that kind of stuff when conducting the phone interview. At the end of that phone interview, the client will either, you'll be told that no labs are needed, that the case has been approved, or that they do need labs. Doesn't mean that they're going to be substandard or standard. They could still qualify for preferred, but based on some information uncovered during the phone interview, we just need to then put them back in line to do the traditional labs and paramed. Preparing the client, there's a little bit right here, but I just want to show you this real quick. Who's eligible? Basically, these are your healthiest clients, ages 18 to 50, and they're applying up to $1 million of coverage. It can be term or it can be any of our IUL products. You see it says Simple Submit, that's that electronic application only in order to qualify, and not available in the state of California. So again, just going back here real quick, that was under the Technology tab, and that was right away and Simple Submit. So if I go back to right away, I think there was a piece out here, we're eliminating the exam by using some big data that we're able to pull, such as public records, financial information, criminal history, prescription report. That's what's allowing us to be able to do that. And then I wonder if it was this consumer flyer here that kind of lets you know or help advise your client what they need during that phone interview. So Bill and Joe, I think I covered everything you wanted me to. If not, please let me know because I certainly can pivot and add anything else. I just hope that I gave you guys a lot of information about the term with living benefits and how to do business with North American. Thank you.
Yep, that was perfect. We even put together a white paper that talks all about generating leads and prospects for these new products. So great stuff here. First of all, thank you, Charlene. That was awesome. Any feedback, questions, again, please let us know. We can get Charlene on a call if needed, if we need her support. But for the most part, our internal marketers can handle pretty much everything. But like I said, if we need to get her involved, no problem at all. Okay, so what we did, our team here at Levinson, we put together an awesome white paper article that is for every kind of agent. I don't care how long you've been in the business. It doesn't make a difference. This talks about generating new leads and prospects in this new tech-driven world, right? By using your website and social media and e-blasting and referrals, some of the old school ways included with the new school tricks and tips. So we're going to include this white paper in today's thank you email that goes out to all participants. We'll also have this article on the lead website for Levinson and Associates. The lead website talks all about lead programs, mailers. We have live transfer leads. We have basically all the above and some neat articles that teach you how to do this for free. So great stuff there. Okay. Joe is going to take the wheel and going to show you some of our free software that's available to use with the North American IUL and other products. And then we're going to show you some other neat ways to generate leads, prospects, and obviously sales. So, Joe?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. I appreciate that. Real quickly, I want to show everyone here just kind of a screenshot of CarrieLevinson.com. Once you log in, you can actually access all the product resources that we covered today and a lot of those materials that Charlene mentioned. Of course, you will receive my email this afternoon with all the links, all the product information, so you can dive right in and start using those and kind of sharing the story with your clients as well. One thing Bill mentioned, which I think if you're in the IUL marketplace or if you're looking to be IUL illustrations are great. They give us a lot of great data, but they're really not one of the best sales aids when it comes to meeting with a client. So over the last probably 5-6 years, we've been really looking for a solution to help agents sell more IUL product and really explain the whole IUL story, because if you take an IUL product and compare it to anything else that a client's looking at, there's really nothing else that allows them to put away that money, grow that money tax deferred, and then take a tax-free distributions from that product. So we actually have worked with a couple different groups. We've settled on what we think is one of the best IUL software platforms in the industry, and I've actually shown a couple different screenshots on this slide here, but this IUL software literally allows you to run an illustration. Our marketing team can even do this for you on your next IUL case. It will actually create a custom client brochure, custom proposal. It kind of talks about the downside scenario, the cost analysis, the internal rate of return on that product, and it really breaks down in a very easy to understand way that IUL product. Another great thing is it not only comes with the one-on-one presentation material, but it also comes with group presentation material, including PowerPoints, case studies. So on your next IUL sale, if you haven't used this software, reach out to any one of our marketing team members and say, hey, I want to look at a proposal using that IUL sales software you guys have, and let me take a look and kind of see how this will help me. And what we've seen over the last 2.5 to 3 years is those agents that were even already writing IUL products have seen a big increase in the number of sales they're able to close because they're telling that IUL story. It's much easier to understand by using this turnkey software. So really great platform, completely web-based. You don't have to download anything. That's available today for all agents to access. Also, in line with that, generating IUL leads, Bill mentioned we have that great new white paper. One of the things that have really helped is this IUL Sales Book. We actually have two I'm going to dive into. The first one is called The New Rules of Retirement Saving. This really kind of explains the IUL product, how clients can use it for retirement planning, college funding, even a lifetime savings gift. This really kind of eliminates buying expensive leads. The whole idea is you're giving this book to a qualified prospect. You have your label on the book. They read it. They understand how the product works. This probably takes maybe less than a day to read. And by the end of them reading that book, a lot of those clients are going to call you back and ask for an appointment and kind of ask you how they're going to set up their own custom IUL scenario. It's a really, really great sales tool. These are available. You can order them right through the website. Actually, the retail value, if you order these on Amazon, is $20 per book, and we actually offer them to agents at a co-op rate of $5 a piece. So you can order those and use those on your next IUL sale. Kind of pivoting off of that first phase of that IUL book, a couple months ago, there was actually a brand new sales book, which is called the No Compromise Retirement Book. So this tells the story of RMDs and really how that IUL and universal life product can really help those baby boomers that are having to compromise their qualified accounts and how to overcome those RMDs. So depending on that client stage in life, maybe they're someone who's turning 65 or they're retiring, this is a perfect book. If you have a younger client, that new rules to retirement savings is a great concept depending on their stage in life. So we have something for all different types of clients depending on what stage of their life they're in and really focusing around that IUL product and that UL sale. One other great way to generate leads, this of course is featured on the CarrieLevinson.com website and mentioned in that white paper report, is our agency automator platform. And, you know, we actually developed this about 7 to 8 years ago, looking at all the different CRM tools that are available to an insurance agent. And we realized one really important thing, which is no CRM platform was really designed for the insurance agent. They're all designed for other types of industries, and they really don't take into account the amount of follow-up and the amount of email marketing and ongoing prospecting that you as an agent have to do. And that's why Agency Automator was developed, and it was constantly improved. Now today we have Agency Automator 2.0, which not only includes a CRM platform that tracks every single client you have, every single prospect. It's going to have all their contact information saved inside that CRM tool. It also comes with a website builder. So now you can have an online presence. Clients can go run term universal life quotes. It actually captures their data. So you know who's on your website, who's running quotes. There's even a full video library, custom domains, and full integration. And a great concept to look at this is, you know, if a client goes on your website and they run a quote, all their information is automatically put into your CRM platform. You not only get an email, but you also get a notification through your CRM platform so that when you come into work on Friday morning and you sit down at your computer, even if that's in your home, you can pull up all those people that have been browsing on your website, make those follow-up calls, and actually retain more sales. So also built into that platform, and I won't spend too much time on this, but there's the Automator Plus tool, which allows you to recruit other agents. If you're looking to become a GA or you already are a GA, it'll actually give you a database of over 500,000 active agents across the country. We even have a virtual assistant who will help you with all your email marketing campaigns, your website, and then the most recent addition is at the bottom left here is the target marketing tool, which is a great way to keep your name in front of not only your existing clients, but for example, if someone searches any insurance related products in my zip code, let's say, which is 33067 here at the office, those clients in that zip code that search for insurance related products are going to see your advertisement as an agent over the next 30 days, regardless of what website they go to. So they could type in insurance related material, do some research, maybe stumble upon your website, and then 3 days later, they could be on Fox News or CNN, or they could be looking at ESPN.com at the latest football scores, and they're going to see your advertisement pop up. So this really allows you to kind of play in that online space without having to spend thousands of dollars using that email marketing platform and that online target marketing tool. So just a couple tools there that will really, really help increase your production and really kind of allow you to access a turnkey marketing platform for very, very low cost.
Okay, good stuff, Joe. So just hold on tight for another few minutes. I'm actually going to give away some of these IUL books. I'll announce it at the last slide here in just another minute or so. So real quick, all of this great technology, we want to make sure that you are comfortable with what we offer, because if you're not comfortable, you're never going to use it. It will sit on a shelf, and you won't take advantage of having this online presence that you need nowadays to grow. I mean, it's that simple. So every single week we host these live trainings, okay? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So depending on which day of the week it is, that's when we focus a different piece of technology or tool. Okay, if you ever want to look at the training calendar, it's on our website, and that's where you can register. You can say, okay, next Monday, I want to check out the AssureWorks training demo. And Wednesday, I want to be on the CRM training. You know, whatever the case is, you can register right from our website. On the bottom there, that's going to be a webinar you don't want to miss, and I'll tell you why. First of all, as you can see, it's on Halloween, 10/31 at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So we are rolling out the newest, and nobody else has this, okay, most unique, straight-up guaranteed issue plans, okay? Life insurance, disability, critical illness, and accident with full return of premium, so free insurance, okay? Never been done before on a guaranteed issue chassis, so we're launching great, great stuff on the 31st. I don't care what kind of agent you are, everybody has a need for guaranteed issue. We all run into those clients, so let's be honest, okay? We know how that works. Now we have a great solution. We'll talk about that on October 31st. All right, moving forward real quick, upcoming live agent meetings here in South Florida. The 26th, which is tomorrow, we're going to give away 2 hours of CE credit for free just for attending, plus complimentary breakfast, and you'll learn all about creating lifetime retirement income. That's tomorrow. If you're local, let us know. We'll sign you up. On the 16th of November, same spot, we're going to go over 4 national underwriting niches. We're going to launch a new IUL from another A-plus rated carrier. So note that down, November 16th, 9 a.m. And then, of course, tomorrow, if you can make it, great. Okay, the one meeting you need to be at, okay, for the year is the Annual Agent Expo. Write this down, May 10th, 2019. Do not miss that day. It's free for all Levinson agents. As long as you're contracted, free of charge. We have the best keynote speaker. Hands down, this guy is the #1 insurance trainer in the industry. His name is Joe Ross, okay? And I'm that confident, okay, that he is the best, that what I'll do, okay, if you're at the meeting and you come and see me, because I'll be there, I want you to come over and say, Bill, you know what? He was just okay. He wasn't great, okay? And I'll pay for your agency Automator platform, okay? Whatever the case is, I will take care of you because I know it's not going to happen. The guy is phenomenal. He's also, and he did this just for us, he announced a kind of a sneak peek training webinar on November 15th at 2 p.m. So you get to get a little taste of Joe Ross and his awesome insurance training skills. So the webinar is 11:15, and then of course he's our keynote speaker at the Annual Agent Expo on May 10th. So register now, okay? It's free. We're capping out at 300 agents, so make sure you register today. All right, moving forward here, we are just about done. And what I'm going to do, okay, I promised a little incentive if you hung in there and stayed the whole hour. If you get contracted, okay, with North American, okay, as soon as the call is done, I will send you the free IUL book. If you transfer over to us, if you're already set up, but you're with another IMO, I will also send you a complimentary IUL Sales Generator book that Joe just went over a few minutes ago. So we'll take care of that. Plus, you're going to get the Cash for Contracting incentive where we will beat, okay, most of the time we'll beat your existing grid, or worst case, we match it, plus you get $100 to $400 cash, okay, on top of getting more commissions with your first application. So take advantage, run with this stuff. We're going to end with this, okay? Let's all embrace and accept these changes. What's going on with the world now, with the internet, right? With social media, what Uber has done to Yellow Cab, right? Let's think about this. What Amazon did to Toys R Us. Let's have open arms and embrace these changes. Take advantage of our free website, our free CRM tool, all of this stuff. We give you 1,000 prospects for free every month. There's no reason to not utilize this. We're going to end with our Positive Tuesday quotes, okay? Every Tuesday we have these live quotes on all of our social media pages. This was this past Tuesday. The internet isn't changing who we are. It's exposing who you really are. No more pretenders, okay? There's a lot to be said here with that statement. The bottom line is, let's not fight this anymore. Let's accept what's going on, utilize this new technology that we're offering for our agents, and grow your business. We're here to help you. With that said, have a great rest of the week, a good weekend, and great selling. Take care.